This is the garden update for June 21st. So far, we're starting to have some really bad Japanese beetle issues on the elderberry bushes. They're getting a lot bigger, but they're starting to really get beaten up. You can see we have, there's just no, they eat just about everything. And then the radicchio, the chicory is, and radicchio is absolutely going crazy. It's the only thing that hasn't bolted yet. This is the bed of 36 peppers in 4 by 8 feet approximately. This batch of compost was not totally broken down, so I've been having to substitute a lot of extra fertilizer to keep these ones going. You can tell, so that's one of the pepper plants, and then this is what it looked like before I put it in the ground. These are all habaneros. So I've had this happen before with all the plants in the beginning, and they've all come back. It's just taken a lot of fertilizer. This is a bed of about 60 to 72 green beans, wax beans, and snap peas. Green beans, I mean. These are the Jerusalem artichokes that I planted last week with the last video. As you can tell, they're definitely a lot greener and a lot taller now than they were before. And we have a prior video on the transplant of this and how I soaked it in the pure fertilizer, and then surrounded it with mycorrhiza. I already pulled some tomatoes off. This is the Brandywine. So far, the Brandywine is almost 6 feet tall. The Brandywine here, I'm having some cracking issues with the Brandywines, and from what people are saying, it's probably caused from inconsistent watering. The San Marzanos are starting to really. I just planted these last week, and literally just in the last week, these guys have doubled in size and started already producing tomatoes. This is I can't remember the name of this tomato. This is the standard beefsteak. This one's looking good. Unfortunately, on this one I accidentally topped it off. So this one I'm actually waiting for a sucker to come out so that I can actually get that one to grow again. This is the Paul Robeson. These tomatoes are starting to look pretty good. Again, I'm having some cracking issues in some of the bigger ones. There's not as much fruit on this one. I don't know if I had some fruit drop issues on this one, because I don't see any tomatoes come out of this batch. So the last 2 sets of blooms did not produce any tomatoes that I can see. I had to pull the black cherry. It had some weird black stuff all over it. I don't really know what happened. It just stopped growing. The black crim, I mean, is this what the black crims are supposed to look like? I have no clue. They seem to have I don't know if I like the deformities. It seems like it might be some kind of issue, because I do have one on there that looks halfway decent. Because this is also black crim, and they don't seem to have the issues. So I don't know. I mean, is it a watering issue? I mean, if anybody knows, if you can post to the video. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. This is the hazel. It's absolutely massive. It's the only one I'm growing in a cage in this particular section. These are the Abe Lincolns here at the corner. I've already pulled one off. There's some really nice clusters of 4 or 5 tomatoes once this thing got established. This guy is close to 7 feet tall. The other one next to it's not as tall, but does have a lot of healthy fruit on it. You gotta be really careful not to top those off. It looks like a sucker, and it's actually the growth. This is the Japanese black truffle. I've had caterpillar issues in 2 of them so far, so I've not actually gotten any of these off, but as you can tell, some of these are 2.5 inches. This is a double one. It's kind of hard to see. And like I said, this is the black trim. I don't know what happened here. This plant also has a lot of leaf roll. I don't know if anybody says that, you know, if I should just like pull this plant out and just be done with it and just make fried green tomatoes. I guess I can do that. I have lots of other tomatoes to replace. Here's some really big Brandywines. That's got to be probably a pound there. I just picked a 10-ounce one a little bit ago. These are all the cherry tomatoes. I've had some worm issues in these also. The black ones just seem to fall off the plant. I don't know if that's normal, but they've been fine. This is the Amish paste. You know, it's 7-8 ounce. Supposed to be 7 or 8 ounce fruits on this one. So here's some of the black cherries. It's kind of hard to tell when they're really ripe because they don't truly ever get red. All the ones I've eaten have been slightly green on the inside, but they've been absolutely tasty. Here's some more Amish paste. These guys are getting ready to turn red. This one's kind of gotten beaten up. It's actually slid down the pole, and it's totally twisted the vine, and it's absolutely not affected the actual plant itself. Now we have some borage that accidentally started growing in there, probably from when I had a borage plant growing next to it. This is another one. This is a black Japanese black truffle plant growing just by stake. It's not doing as well as the one that's growing in the ground. So I don't know if I'll be growing these like this again. This thing just crawls like crazy. The peppers are starting to look much better. In the beginning they weren't looking too good. So this plant here is I call it the Jimmy. But a lot of the fruits are all curled, and I don't know what's causing that. So like here, and they're supposed to be straight. We have really good luck with the jalapenos. Here's another Jimmy. This is actually what they're supposed to look like. Nice long 8, 9, 10 inch. So that one's almost done. And here's another one. This guy probably needs some support. This guy here is a cayenne. We got two really nice looking cayennes. Let me zoom out here so you can kind of see how this cayenne looks. There's got to be 20 or 30 on each of those, and more jalapenos. And then this is the Tabasco. It's turned into a Tabasco bush. There's at least 30 peppers on here so far. This is another cayenne that I bought from the store, and this is a Serrano. So that's looking really nice. These are blazing hot. These are the Rooster Spur. Here's that yellowing leaf issue I've been talking about that I'm having problems with. These guys are 2 inches, and there's maybe 10 or 15 on each of these, and they're blazing hot. So I got more cayennes here. The rabbit ate 2 of the Tabasco peppers, which is weird. So now they're all bushy and small, but they've come back really strong. There was only like 2 leaves left in this guy one right before I figured out there was a rabbit and started putting down something to deter him. This here, I don't know what. This is a mystery pepper. I don't have any peppers, and I don't have a label for it. This is a Toro. This is another Jimmy. I thought this was a Toro. These are Candlelight. These are kind of cool. They don't get as big as I would like. And then these are the Auroras. They start out purple, then they turn orange, and then they turn red when they're ripe. Just got some more blueberry bushes in. The other one's got annihilated by a rabbit. Right now, I don't know if this will germinate because it's so darn hot, but I replanted some more basil since the Japanese beetles totally wiped out all the basil. But does anybody know what this bug is? I don't know if it'll focus. It's a black bug with like 2 red stripes. I keep trying to catch them, but I don't know what they are. This is curly leaf parsley. The hyssop is starting to bloom, and the yarrow is starting to bloom. So I have purple. I have purple and white yarrow. So that's the white and that's the purple. And this is just the regular flat leaf parsley. This is the Greek box basil. So each plant will grow in like a 1 little foot ball. This might actually be 2 plants. Everything is starting to go to flower, but this stuff is totally taken off since before. This is the sweet Genovese basil. This has now become a trap crop. The Japanese beetles have just totally eaten up, and now I've just kind of given up and the leaves are turning yellow. But they have not touched the Thai basil. The Thai basil is untouched. The purple opal basil, they've eaten alive. I mean, you know, it looks like somebody came through here with a shotgun. And this is the cinnamon basil. It's looking pretty good. This is bee balm. It's totally taken over. Not as much as the catnip is taken over. This is 1 plant. I don't know what happened. It's now 2 by 2 feet. The tarragon is blooming. This is what blooming tarragon looks like. It doesn't get that high, about a foot high, but it sprawls. The same with the thyme. The thyme is also blooming. So I have 3 thyme plants that are growing here. If you've seen my pictures, this is 1 sage plant. It's already 20 inches tall, 20 inches wide, maybe 18 inches. This thing is absolutely massive. And this is the 5 kind of mint that's being grown inside of pots, buried inside the ground so they don't spread. This is kind of cool. This is an apple. It's more of a citrusy mint and chocolate mint. This is the rue's looking pretty good, but you can't really grow rue with anything else. So what's interesting is the Japanese beetles totally annihilated the Japanese eggplant, but they didn't really attack the black beauty eggplant. So this is pomegranate. This is I think it's called Russian pomegranate. And then I don't remember what the name of this one is. Another pomegranate. This is a dwarf mulberry bush, Mr. Stripey. This is some stevia that's growing. It's really starting to take off. And then the oregano, since it grows over the pot, I've decided to grow it in 2 different pots. It's really starting to look good too. This is the dwarf pomegranates. I don't know how long it takes these things to produce fruit. I just bought them this year, so I don't really have a high expectation for those. The cucumbers, a lot of foliage on the newer ones, but they're not producing any fruit yet. Sweet potatoes are absolutely growing like crazy. This is more, shoot, I don't remember what the exact variety is. I think this is like the Emperor cucumber. What's interesting is the continental sweet potato. That obviously is the preference for Japanese beetles. I can see why these things are sprayed so much. There's just absolutely nothing left of these things. This is more of the Emperor cucumbers. Those are starting to, these things are really drying out. I'm putting in about 2.5 gallons of water a day. And then we have some Telegraph Improved. All right, time for a bigger memory card. So these are the Telegraph Improved. I got 5 of them on this 1 plant alone. This plant is a couple weeks ahead of the other ones. I don't know what these things are supposed to look like or how wide they're supposed to get, so I don't know when to pull them. And again, I don't know if it's because the bugs have just killed everything else, or if the white Japanese sweet potatoes are just not a big hit with the Japanese beetles, because there's almost no damage compared to the other ones. I'm not really sure what this yellow spotting is on the blackberries, if anybody knows. I've tried not fertilizing, tried fertilizing. I've heard it's bug damage. There's nothing on these plants. So this is the blackberries. I thought this was how big the blueberries were going to be that I just ordered. I was obviously upgraded because they ran out of the ones that they had. This is the original. This is I planted this Jerusalem artichoke a couple weeks before the other ones. in this bed, so the stalk's about 3/4 of an inch thick. The watermelons are starting to grow like crazy. I might have to actually thin these out. This is the other bed, because these things are, I thought it was 1 stem per plant, and it looks like it's a lot more. This is the, so here we have the purple king green beans. They're not growing as well as I wanted them to. I guess I don't know what to expect from a bush bean. You know, they're about 4 inches. I pulled a couple, maybe half a pound off yesterday, but they're not huge producers. I mean, they're really nice looking beans, but they really are not good raw. These are the spaghetti squash. There's 12. I tried adding green beans to the same container, and I don't know why these are so yellow. If there's a imbalance with the soil in this one, so I don't know. Here's another. See, I think I was having water issues, so this guy kind of got small in the middle. So this, again, the spaghetti squash is doing really well. There's no cucumbers in this one. This one here has cucumbers. This one, we just picked the cucumber off. A lot of spiders. The zucchini just like stopped producing zucchini about a week ago. We haven't had one in 3 or 4 days. I added more fertilizer. It looks like it might actually be helping. The new leaves are starting to turn out green, and it's starting to flower again. So hopefully it'll pick up. So there's another cucumber. So there's another spaghetti squash. If anything, spaghetti squash is definitely the way to go for people who have never grown. This is the first time I've grown vines, and as you can see, I got every single vine has at least one spaghetti squash growing on it. There's another one. So, you know, a couple of these vines are growing all the way up. I expected everything to grow up eventually, so I guess the cucumbers will catch up. It's been 95 degrees, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. These are actually, oh, I have something down here. These are actually, these are the Delica squash. I already had one wiped out by a vine borer. There's another one over here. So they're starting to take off. I'm gonna have to start training these guys. Another zucchini. So see these, I think what happened here is the zucchini, not the zucchini, the Delica squash grew up the green beans, which is why we have this effect. Again, these green beans, they're light green. I don't know if it's too much or too little fertilizer, because then there's another one next to it that's perfectly fine. Another spaghetti squash. And this is the first one that's ever come up. This guy is absolutely huge. The stink bugs haven't gotten to him yet. I mean, they've been on him. I've killed a lot of them, but they haven't really affected the quality of the plant. So that's there, and then that's the front of the house, and then that's the herb garden, and that's all the tomatoes growing, and that's the update.